Hi, scholars. Today for our ELD lesson, you are going to be listening to a book that I read and picking out adjectives that you hear inside of this book. The book is called Strange Plants, written by Kira Freed. When we think about plants, we often think of trees, flowers, and grass. Like most plants, these plants have green leaves. They also have roots growing into the ground. So, you need to think, is there a word that describes the plants on this page or the leaves? So usually when I look for adjectives, I look around the nouns and I look before the nouns most of the time. Okay, so I see plants, but it doesn't have a word over here describing the plants. I see trees, no word before it describing the trees. Of is not a describing word. No word describing the flowers, that's a thing. No word describing the grass. Plants, does the word most describe plants? Is that a number of plants? Yeah, it is. So if it's a number of something, that is an adjective. So I highlighted that. You might have to just do that in your mind because you're not going to have this to highlight with. Okay. Then I'm looking, these plants have green leaves. What was that word to describe the leaves? Green. Okay, so on the next few pages, you're going to have to be thinking of that. And then if you have a paper next to you or something where you can write down, quickly writing down all the adjectives you can find as we read together. I'm not doing any more for you, so let's see what you can do. Some plants are not like most plants. This book is about some of these strange plants. Give you a minute to look at that page and look for adjectives. What kind of plants? Plants called air plants live in trees high above the ground. Their roots are not buried in dirt. Instead, they grow on tree branches. They take moisture from the air, not from the soil like most plants do. So a lot of times when I'm thinking of adjectives, I like to think what kind of, and that can help me find the adjectives. Okay, so it's like, oh wait, what kind of plants? And then down here, the caption says, air plants growing on swamp trees. What kind of trees? Can you imagine plants that eat meat? Well, there are such plants. They eat insects, spiders, and even some other small animals. One well-known meat-eating plant is the Venus flytrap. What kind of animals? And that can help you find the adjective. Its leaves look like traps. They have small spikes along their edges. When a small creature walks inside a leaf, the leaf snaps shut. The small creature is trapped. Fly caught in a Venus flytrap. The sundew is also a meat-eating plant. It has many sticky hairs on its surface. Insects landing on it get stuck. Then the plant digests the insects. The giant sundew plant of Australia even eats small frogs. Ooh. All right, look in there and see if you can see some words to describe the plant. And maybe a word to describe the frogs, an adjective. Some plants steal food from other plants. The daughter plant sends root-like parts into another plant. It sucks food and water from the plant. It is a parasite. A parasite lives off another living thing. Many flowers have bad smells that attract insects. The Stapelia flower smells like rotting meat. Flies like the smell, so they fly into the flower. Special powder gets on their bodies. They take the powder to the other flowers. The flowers use the powder to make seeds and grow new plants. Okay, so I'm thinking in my mind, what kind of smell was it? What kind of powder was it? What kind of plant was it? And you look before those words to see the describing words or adjectives. Some plants look like stones. The plants in this picture are called stone plants or living stones. They live in very hot, dry places. They hold water very well. Their shape helps to hide them so that animals do not eat them. Can you find 2 adjectives on this page? I know I can. See what you can do. Some cactus plants are covered with wool-like hairs. The wool protects them from daytime heat. It protects them from nighttime cold. The wool also helps the cactus plants hold moisture. This one's called an old man cactus. Tree roots growing in rock. Some trees and shrubs grow out of the solid rock. They grow up high where the wind blows strong. Their roots reach down into small cracks for moisture. As the roots grow, they split the rock. Some plants have animals living inside them. Ant colonies live inside ant plants. They use spaces in the plant's stem as houses. Some spaces are used for raising young ants. Other spaces are used for rubbish, like garbage. The ant plant uses some of this rubbish for food. There are many more kinds of strange plants. Bamboo makes a noise when it grows. Some Australian orchids grow and flower completely underground. There are many amazing plants in the world. Those are the bamboo shoots. All right, so we are at the end, and I bet you wrote down some adjectives that you found inside of this text. Then go ahead and make sure you write them down on Seesaw and send them to me, and we'll see if you found the adjectives.